საღამომშვიდობის მოგესალმებით ქალბატონებო და ბატონებო, განსაკუთრებულად დიდ მადლობას მოგახსენებთ მობრძანებისათვის, რადგან თქვენი დღეს აქ მოსვლა სოციალური პასუხისგებლობის გამოვლენა, რადგან ჩვენ ყველამ ერთად უნდა ვიზრუნოთ მომავალზე, ეკოლოგიაზე და საერთაშორისო კვლევების თანახმად დედამიწის 52% ნიადაგისა გამოფიტულია და ჩვენ უნდა ვიზრუნოთ იმ 48%-ზე, რომლითაც უნდა ისაზრდოს დანარჩენმა შთამომავლობამ. ამიტომ სწორედ აი ამ კამპანიას ეძღვნება ჩვენი დღევანდელი მთავარი სტუმრის ჩამობრძანება, რომელმაც თავისი მოგზაურობა დაიწყო დიდ ბრიტანეთში და გაიარა უამრავი ქვეყანა, დაიწყო დიდი ბრიტანეთიდან, ეს იყო ბირმინგემი, შემდეგ ლონდონი, ამსტერდამი, ბერლინი, პრაღა, ვენა, ვენეცია, სტამბოლი, სხვადასხვა ქალაქები და დღეს საქართველოში ჩამობრძანდა სადგურუ. თქვენი აქ მოსვლა ნამდვილად ადასტურებს იმას, რომ ჩვენ ყველანი დღეს სოლიდარულები ვართ და ყველანი ვცდილობთ გავერთიანდეთ, რადგან აუცილებლად შეუნარჩუნოთ ჩვენ მომავალთაობას, ეკოლოგია და არსებობს ასეთი ანდაზა. პრევენცია უკეთესია ვიდრე განკურნება. ამიტომ სანამ განსაკურნებლად გახდება საქმე, მანამდე მივიღოთ პრევენცია, ყველა გავერთიანდეთ იმ კამპანიის წინაშე, რომელმაც 21 მარტს აიღო სტარტი. მოტოციკლეტით დაიწყო მოგზაურობა. მან და 30,000 კილომეტრი უნდა გაიაროს, მსოფლიოს სხვადასხვა ქვეყნებში ჩავიდეს და ყველას უთხრას, რომ მოდით ახლა გავერთიანდეთ ეკოლოგიის და ჩვენი დედამიწის გადასარჩენად. მოდით ახლა ვნახოთ მცირე ვიდეო და მერე უკვე შემობრძანდება ის, ვისთვისაც ჩვენ ყველანი დღეს შევიკრიბეთ სპორტის სასახლეში.
We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions and global warming and various other aspects, but we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy. In most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it. Now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by ploughing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible, some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching Save Soil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. So we must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
And the movement that you are taken up, I could not expect any more God's blessing than that.
Sadhguru, and this campaign is so important.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
And our planet's future depend on it.
Sadhguru, save soil, my friend.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
Antigua and Barbuda is part of the Save Soil mission.
We commend you for what you're doing. That is why we are happy to sign the MOU.
The science and philosophy that backs the thought behind the movement is tremendous.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make this happen.
Let us make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Save soil, შეგიძლიათ ყველა ამ ჰაშტაგი დადოთ თქვენს მობილურებზე, თქვენ სოციალურ ქსელში ან დაწეროთ ქართულად, გადავარჩინოთ ნიადაგი, რადგან გადავცეთ ჩვენს სივრცეს იმ ადამიანებს, რომლებიც არიან ჩვენს სამეგობრო წრეებში და ყველას გავაგებინოთ დღევანდელი დღის მნიშვნელობა. ყველა ქვეყანას თავისი ბრენდი აქვს, ზოგი მედიტაციას ეძახის, ზოგი არტ თერაპიას ეძახის. განსაკუთრებით მნიშვნელოვანია ის ბრენდი, რომლითაც ჩვენ ქართველები ყველანი ვამაყობთ და რომლებიც ახლა სცენაზე გამობრძანდებიან. ჩვენი სიამაყე სუხიშვილები. სუხიშვილები, ჩვენი ქვეყნის და ქართული კულტურის მისიონერები, რომლებიც დადიან სოფლიოს სხვადასხვა კუთხეში და ჩვენი ქვეყნის პოპულარიზაციასა და ქართული კულტურის მნიშვნელობას აგებინებენ დანარჩენ სოფლიოს. განსაკუთრებულად მნიშვნელოვანია, რომ შემობრძანდა ჩვენი დღევანდელი მთავარი სტუმარი, რომელიც ზის და მე მინდა მივესალმოთ ყველამ ერთად სადგურუს. გადავუხადოთ განსაკუთრებული მადლობა $65 წლის მარტოხელა მხედარი, როგორც მას უწოდებენ, რომელიც ცხენით არა, მაგრამ მოტოციკლეტით დადის და მსოფლიოში ეკოლოგიაზე, სიკეთეზე, ადამიანის თავისუფლებაზე და შენ შინაგან ბედნიერებაზე ქადაგებს. ამ ყველაფრის მომსწრენი ჩვენ გავხდებით, მაგრამ უნდა გითხრათ, რომ 100 დღიანი მოგზაურობის 37 დღეა მე მოგიყევით, რომელი ქვეყნები გამოიარა და როგორ მოხდა ის საქართველოში და განსაკუთრებულად მნიშვნელოვანია, რომ მან თავის ტურნეში მოაქცია საქართველო და მოდით ახლა ვნახოთ მცირე ვიდეო იმ მოგზაურობისა, რომელიც დაიწყო დიდ ბრიტანეთში და შემდეგ გავაგრძელოთ ჩვენი დღევანდელი საღამო.
It's a great pleasure for me. These beautiful Caribbean nations are going for this fast.
This memorandum of understanding that we are signing, it will also bring some technical assistance to the Caribbean region.
This is a historic moment because here is the first step to turn around.
You are probably one of the most famous Indians, and what you're doing today is really important because people like you who have a wonderful following of millions and millions of people, and what you're doing with that is so important with saving the soil.
If you want to say, I love you to your child, you must just say save soil, because it is a more committed way of saying I love you.
It's an extraordinary campaign. It echoes what we in the Commonwealth have been aspiring to do for a number of years.
Next 100 days from 21st of March, we want the whole world to talk about soil.
It is not about the motorcycle, it's not about the journey, it's not about the song, it is about moving people on the planet. Make it happen, huh?
I think if we all contribute, then we have a really strong voice.
There has been so much excitement and everybody is so excited to hear Sadhguru.
This is our time on the planet. What we do here is our business. Let's do the right things.
I honestly didn't feel like part of the movement before. Obviously, I'd never met him. Seeing what kind of a following he has and how impactful it is, I really feel like I just joined a global movement.
Graffiti artists supporting this Save Soil movement, wanting to inspire the youth, and youth being the major population in most parts of the world today, all graffiti artists, to whatever walls that you have, make sure that you use this. One of the most beautiful cities of Europe.
It's our common issue together. It's not for one nation, for one person, but we as people have to unite and to solve this.
This is a celebration of human beings coming together to do what they need to do. had a wonderful meeting with the Agriculture Minister of Slovenia. All of us have been part of this destruction. The only way is all of us become part of the solution also. Riding on to Italy. Italy is raining heavily tonight. Here in Venice, over 2000 years ago, this Athenian city made the mistake of over-farming the region, and the erosions that caused did tremendous damage, and that was also the fall of the city at that time. So, the Romans of today should never make that mistake once again.
And we are very happy that we are aligned in our message.
Young people getting into farming is very good. That's the future of the world.
Thank you.
Here we are in Geneva.
I think it's a message of urgency, but it's also a message of hope. So I would really like to thank Sadhguru for his leadership.
The global movement led by him addresses the soil crisis by mobilizing people around the entire world.
This massive fountain in the Lake of Geneva is lit up for Save Soil today with Save Soil colors of blue and green. You cannot stop this. The moment is on. It's going to be on till the policies are done. See, when people want it, it definitely will happen. There's no question about it. Tell me, will it happen?
In this cold, slippery road and winds are picking up speed, no matter what the hell, I have to keep going. You think this is a problem? Relentless commitment to what you do. That is the only solution.
We already have one action, which is an MOU to be signed between Isha Foundation and 4,000 Initiative Soils for Food Security and Climate for cooperation in achieving our objective of creating a healthier soil.
I was very honored to be on the stage and be able to actually express that his mission is what we need.
It's fantastic. France has been great. Well, Brussels.
Let's put together and work on a common message for all to save a resource that determines our future. Save the soil.
And then a smashing evening at the main event. And a super enthusiastic crowd committing themselves to make this happen. Save soil, on the move. Let's make it happen. Just look up the news and see in the last 4 months, how many governments have started talking about soil because they see it's picking up momentum. But if you create 3 to 4 billion people talking about soil, that's it. That will be the main conversation in the government.
I need someone to show me the way. I need someone to show me.
The Education Ministry in Germany has now come into the picture officially and asked all the children to do artwork to support Save Soil movement. Good, Arjun, wonderful. Congratulations that you wrote to the Prime Minister.
Let's make it happen!
So, on the way to Bratislava, well, the road surface is not great, too many puddles of water, so can't maintain very high speed. It's great that all of you are here in Bratislava. Nobody ever imagined 100 years ago that we will have to save soil of all the things.
Thank you for coming to Slovakia. It's wonderful, and I'm very happy that the video campaign.
Would you like to come in the kitchen and cook with me a little bit?
Why not? Without soil being rich, food won't be rich. Without food being rich, our bodies will not be of full potential. The old heroes always built something which stands up like this, but the new heroes are those people who will nurture the soil which always lies beneath our feet, never stands up. Oh, this wonderful city of Belgrade. The UNFAO said something which really deeply hurt me, is the soil that we are consuming right now belongs not even to these little children, belongs to the unborn child. This is an expression of our love and responsibility for our own lives and the future lives.
I think there is a great potential for a good collaboration, partnership with the campaign Save the Soil and what we are doing as a government. We can make it together.
It's very important, bringing a certain sense of love and celebration towards the land that we walk upon.
It's just after noon, but temperatures are around 2 degrees, morning it was below zero. Not a weather for motorcycle for sure. Going from Sofia to Bucharest,
organize yourselves whichever way you want, form groups, come together somehow and see this happens.
From Istanbul were really amazed by Sadhguru to appear, and they were just so happy to see him.
This many people, if all of you are committed and you spend 15–20 minutes a day to enhance the message, I think I don't have to go on riding like crazy. Yesterday I rode 18 hours, can you believe this, through Bulgarian roads?
ჰაშტეგი გააკეთეთ უკვე, იმედია ყველამ თქვენ სოციალურ ქსელში დააფიქსიროთ, რომ ჩვენ დღეს ყველანი ვიკრიბებით აქ, იმიტომ რომ ვიზრუნავთ ეკოლოგიაზე, ვიცავთ ბუნებას და ვუნახავთ შთამომავლობას, რათა ის 48% მაინც გადავარჩინოთ, რომელიც ესეთი ძვირფასია და რომლითაც საზრდოობთ ჩვენ და ახლა სანამ თავარი გმირი ამოვიდოდეს სცენაზე და ჩვენ მოგვეცემოდეს შესაძლებლობა მისი მოსმენისა, მანამდე მე მინდა საქართველოს დიდ მეგობარს, არაჩვეულებრივ ადამიანს, საქართველოსა და სომხეთში ინდუეთის ელჩს ვთხოვო სცენაზე ბატონ კიშან დევალს, Mr. Devals, please come into stage.
august gathering in presence of one of the most followed spiritual guru of modern day India. I also take pride in representing to you the land which gave this mantra thousands of years ago. Some Vachadhvam, some Vadadavam, some Manasi Janatam. Some Vachadhvam, that is, let's move together. Some Vadadavam, that is, let's all interact together. Some Manasi Janatam, that is, everyone's mind should also be one. Dear friends, we have been hearing for some years now that our planet Earth is facing various challenges of environment and climate disturbances. Almost all of these challenges are man-made. The Indian cultural ethos since centuries have given the message of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, meaning that everyone should be happy. For ages, we in India have always given importance to land in the Indian culture. Earth is held as sacred and treated as mother. One of the Vedas, Atharva Veda, mentions about relation of earth to human. Mata Bhumiha, Putro Iham Prathviha, that is, earth is my mother and I am her child. The governments all over the world and the international organizations, including the United Nations, are making efforts to reverse the process of damage to the planet Earth. There are various methods which are being applied, such as afforestation, reduction in carbon emissions, conservation of water and soil, etc. When our Prime Minister went to Glasgow in November 2021 for the Conference of Parties Summit COP26, he made the world know that for India, the climate summit was not an occasion to add one more promise to the world, but it was a commitment towards its own 1.25 billion people. Despite our limited carbon emissions, which is only 5%, whereas we share 17% of the world's population, we have left no stone unturned to fulfill our obligations of the Paris commitment. Today, India has the fourth largest renewable energy capacity, and today India's non-fossil fuel energy has reached 40% of our total energy needs, and we aim to set up 450 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030. During the Glasgow summit, our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi presented 5 Panchamrit or 5 goals for India to present an environmentally clean economy, and we have committed that by the year 2070, India will achieve the target of net zero carbon emission. We all have read about the depletion of ozone layer, global warming, climate change, etc. We seem to be ignorant of the condition of soil or soil degradation. In the Indian philosophy, Panchabhuta consists of 5 elements, which are Prithvi, that is earth, Vayu, that is air, Jal, that is water, and Akash, that is ether, and fire, which is called Agni. These are the essence of our life and basis of all cosmic creation. The soil is part of earth, and if one of the Panchabhuta ceased to exist, existence of human life would be in question. Dear friends, normally a spiritual guru would talk about things which common people don't understand. But today we are honored with the presence of Sadhguru, who will not be talking about difficult questions of existence or concepts incomprehensible for the human minds, or life after this life, metaphysics, or any other worldly objects or supernatural concepts. Today, Sadhguruji is literally down to earth because he will be talking about soil and earth and its importance to us. He has rather selected a non-glamorous subject of soil, which is the essence of our life. but most neglected. And along with water, this is the essence of life, and he is here to educate us and warn about an impending disaster which can be averted with our joint efforts. Dear friends, now not taking much time, I invite respected Sadhguruji to come on the stage and enlighten us about the road to protect ourselves from the dangers of possible human catastrophe which may result from our ignorance about Mother Earth and its constituent soil. Sadhguruji, floor is yours. Thank you very much, Didi Matloba. Thank you.
Hey, all of you chirp, come on. Your picture. All those of you who are looking at me through your third eye, I mean the phone eye, it's on the YouTube right away. You can download it from there. Don't waste your time covering your face with your phone. Be with me. Hello? Kalo na janati tava jananam, Kalo na janati tava samapanam, Drushto maya tava mahakarah Yogeshwara Kala Kala, Yogeshwara Kala Kala. Good evening to every one of you. Well, I did not know much about Georgia, but today morning from there to here I drove straight here. Driving from Batumi to Tbilisi, I realized it's almost like home. You drive just like us. Yes, you drive just like the Indians. Over 15,000 years ago, a yogi appeared in the upper regions of Himalayas. People did not know who he is, where he comes from, what his antecedents are, but they gathered. He just came and sat Did not say a thing, did not look at them, closed his eyes, never paid attention to the people. A huge crowd gathered, hoping he will say something, or maybe he will perform a miracle. Nothing happened. He just sat there. Hours rolled into days, days into weeks, weeks into months, but he just sat there, unmoving. It looked like he was gone. Only sign of life was off and on. Tears of ecstasy were dribbling down his cheeks. Except for that, there was no sign of life. So slowly, people lost interest. He's doing nothing, he's saying nothing, what are we sitting here and watching? But 7 people, hardcore ones, hung on because they saw if a man has to just sit like this, without food, without water, without relieving himself in any sense, if a man has to just sit like this, he must be beyond physical nature. So they hung on, they became the first 7 disciples. In the lore it says one of them came to Central Asia, somewhere here, we don't know where. There are some signs of his presence in Kazakhstan, should be something here in this region, I don't know. But people have been forever looking for signs of yoga. Wherever there is geometric perfection beyond the nature or beyond the skills of the existing civilization, then we assume maybe the yogi was here because he imparted geometry. Because what yoga means is getting your personal geometry, your physiological, your chemical, your psychological and your energetic geometry in tune or in alignment with the cosmic geometry. When this happens, then it is not that you travel the cosmos, but because of alignment of geometry, you know something that others wouldn't know, because in disalignment, you do not know life. It's only in alignment you know life. To give an example, in your life, at a given moment, either with your parents or your spouse or your children, at certain time, it might not have happened all the time, certain time when you found a certain alignment, life was happening little differently. Hello? The very air that you breathe and the food that you eat and the land that you walk upon, everything felt different simply because between 2 people there was a little bit of alignment. There's no such thing as perfect alignment between 2 individual people, but some sense of alignment brought a different sense of life. People who are in love always think, why these fools don't understand what's happening? It's not just about emotion, it's a certain sense of alignment. This is what yoga means, that you became aligned with the cosmic geometry in such a way that you're bouncing, that people think you're crazy, but everybody I think, Sadhguru, you're crazy. At this age, what are you doing to yourself? You'll kill yourself. I started at 11:30 in Batumi, am I correct? Yes. But you're all from Batumi, guys? You're from Batumi. So you know how the road is, it's all under construction and packed with crazy traffic, and you're driving like Indians. So nobody knows where you're going. I know because I have been driving in India forever. I know where you will go. This is not yoga, this is just living in India. You know where the crazy driver will go next. So, and I drive in straight here, people say, Sadhguru, you're going crazy, why are you doing this? Why are we doing this? It's an important question. My question is, why did we not do it much sooner? Because in the last 2 years, I have been meeting so many agricultural ministers, ministries, heads of state, bureaucrats, scientists, all sorts of people who are in responsible positions in the world. And what I found was, everybody knows how serious a problem soil is, but nobody utters a word. When I speak to them, they say, yes, Sadhguru, it's a very serious problem, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. And I say, where is it? Why is it not in the narrative? Everybody thinks somebody else will do it. Hello, there is no somebody else, it's just you and me on this planet. Hello? You think there is somebody else who will come and do this? We're not in talking terms. What's happening here? Is it a language? Or they're waiting translation, is it? Huh? Hello? The delay is in translation? Oh. Ah. Oh. So what I saw was, everybody knows the problem, everybody generally knows what is the solution, but they've all been waiting for one idiot to come and bell the cat. So here I am. But as a generation, if we don't act now, we will be seriously regretful. It's very important that we don't get there. Keeping that aside, I was just chanting something that was in your language, right? You understood. Hello? The chant. What the chant is trying to say is, life is a certain amount of time and energy. Time, the nature of time is such that it's rolling away for all of us. As you sit here, it's rolling away. What is ticking is not your clock, what is ticking is your life. Your life is ticking away. And there is nothing you can do about it. Did you ever rewind an yesterday and live it again? No such opportunity for anybody. Ruthlessly, time is just rolling away. Since you came and sat here, since I came into this venue, all of us are 1 hour closer to the grave. Hello? What is this? I usually used to talking to live people. I can't do like those boys, all this, I can't do all that, come on. I got knee pads, but I won't try it. Now, time, there is nothing you can do about it, it's just rolling away. It's just that. You can manage your energies in such a way that you can make your life pleasant, profound and impactful. These are the only three things you can do with your life. You can make it very pleasant, you can make it very profound and impactful in activity. With time, there is nothing to do, it's just going away. And in southern Indian languages, when somebody dies, we don't say he died. We say kalamaitam. This means his time got over. That's exactly what happened. Hello? Yeah! So, time gets over and we can't stop it, we can't slow it down, we can't advance it, we can't do anything. Sometimes, we want to… People come to me and say, Sadhguru, he's such a terrible guy, I want to kill him, I want to do this. Hey, I said, don't do all that, don't do all that, just wait, he will die. Hello? Just wait. Either he will die or you will die, both ways you will be relieved of him. So if you just wait, life will be over. Huh? How many hours a day do you sleep? 8 hours. There are only 24 hours, in a day, you know that. In 24 hours, I have been petitioning for extra 4 hours for a long time, no response from the other side. I have been wanting extra 4 hours, nothing, no response at all. So the 24 hours, if you sleep 8 hours a day, 1/3 of your life you will sleep it off. Is something wrong in sleeping? Is sleep a bad thing? No. But if you sleep through your life, you will become a disaster. Sleep is not a crime, but if you sleep through your entire life, life becomes a disaster. Now this is the problem with humanity right now. There are generations which stood up and mitigated expected disasters, but there are many generations which walked into disasters and then grieve over it. Which one are we is the question right now. Right now, it is very clear, every responsible scientist in the world is talking about serious food shortages by 2045. Every responsible scientist is talking about that there will be a severe water stress in the next 10 years. 3.5 billion people will be water stressed by 2032. They will not just sit there and die of thirst, they will come wherever water is. And over 1.2 billion people are expected to migrate in the next 10 years' time. So when 1 billion people move, the amount of suffering that happens, especially to women and children, the kind of suffering and denigration that happens when people make unplanned migration, forced migrations, is unspeakable. That kind of things happen particularly to women and children. But this is all happening because of weakening of the soil, degradation of the soil. People are thinking how soil, water… somebody was telling me, Sadhguru, 30 years ago you were talking about planting trees, then you said rivers, now you are saying soil, why are you changing the subject like this? Oh, this is like, it once happened, Shankaran Pillai was in the university. In your university, you? Shankaran Pillai was in the university and one day he cornered the college beauty and told her, I love you and I love you and I love you. She looked at him and asked, will you marry me? He said, come on, why are you changing the subject? I'm not changing the subject. When we said trees, and when we planted millions of trees, we planted them in the soil only, not on our head. You don't see any on top of my head. When we talked about rivers, the tropical rivers flow from the soil. There are no ice caps sitting on top of a mountain, there's no melting snow in a tropical nation. It is just the soil which creates rivers. So when we talked about trees, when we talked about rivers, we were only talking about soil, nothing different, because this is the basis of all life. You see a worm, an insect, a tree, a bird, a man, a woman, an animal, everything has come out of this soil. 15 to 18 inches of this magical material called soil. This magic, which is mud and becomes food, which is food and then becomes flesh and bone, and once again becomes soil. The question is only, will we get it now or will we get it then, when somebody buries us? Hello? When? 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 This happened. In Texas, there was a couple. Anybody from Texas? Because when you say Georgia, next state is Texas, I'm just checking before I tell a joke. There was a couple who wanted to go to the Holy Land, to Jerusalem. They got married. Then honeymoon lasted a few months, then children came and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And children went to school, children came to graduation, children came to university, children got married. Grandchildren came, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. All this happened by the time they were over 75 years of age. Now they got the opportunity to go to Holy Land. Lot of you are planning things like this. Something that you think is important gets postponed to the last day of your life. So they went to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a place where every cobblestone is bleeding of history. So they walked on the street where Jesus is supposed to have walked and they were overwhelmed. They went to that place where he is supposed to have walked upon water. They couldn't believe it. Wow, 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 everything. But unfortunately, the lady had a heart attack and she died. This happens, you know. Then the man was preparing to take the body back to Texas. Then the local people arrived. They said, see, your wife has done the right thing to die in the Holy Land. This is the best thing to do. Hello? If you die somewhere, anyway you will die somewhere, better to die in a holy place, isn't it? And they said, see, because you're American and you just lost your wife, normally we charge $18,000 for this. So all the ceremonies that we have to do. But if you take her back to Texas, the plane ride itself for the body to be taken in the plane will cost $18,000 plus local charges in Texas, so you can as well do it here. The man thought about it and said, no, I will take her back to Texas. They said, it's okay. See, a wife of so many years, nearly 4 decades, you've been married to her, now you lost her, you're distraught, you can't think properly. Okay, we'll give you a discount, $12,000, let's do it. The man thought about it and said, no, I will take her back to Texas. And I said, see, because you lost your wife, you're not able to think straight, you know. You're just not thinking straight, why are you doing this? All right, we'll give you super discounts because you're from United States and you're from Texas, so we give you super discount, $6,000, let's do it. Come on, let's go. The man thought about it and said, no, I will take her back to Texas. Then they threw up their arms and said, what is this? You lost your sense, what are you doing? She died here, she must… all the rituals must happen here. $18,000 plus local charges, we are offering you a miraculous discount, $6,000 and you don't want to do it, what's the problem? The man said, in Texas, dead stay dead. So, countless number of people have walked upon this land. Where are they? All topsoil. Hello? All topsoil, all great men. What happened? All topsoil. This also will become topsoil unless your friends choose to bury you real deep, fearing you may rise. So we need to understand this. This is the only magical material like this. It is the largest living system, not just on this planet, in the known universe. There is nothing like the topsoil of this planet. It is the cream of this earth. We have been enjoying it for long, but we've been skimming it rather irresponsibly. If you had a grandmother or a mother, because if they made things like cream and butter at home, you will see how carefully they will take it. Hello? Not like this, hello? Very carefully, because these things have to be done gently. Cream needs to be handled gently. This is the cream of the earth. These 15 to 18 inches is the cream of the earth. It is packed with life. To an extent, if you take a handful of soil, there are 8 to 10 billion organisms, 50 to 75,000 species. The top scientists in the world, the top soil scientists in the world are admitting that they do not even know 1% of the species present in the topsoil. 1%. Knowing 1%, you should not mess with it, isn't it? Hello? When we know only 1% of something, should we go and mess with it? Preserving it is the most important thing, keeping it alive is the most important thing. What was shocking for me in these last 2 years was, in most agricultural ministries in the world, most of them still treat soil as an inert substance which can be managed by adding a chemical or subtracting a chemical. The whole purpose of this movement is to first to bring this home, that when you walk upon the soil, you know it is the source of your life. It is not the resource that you use, it is the source of your life. All of us, how fed up on our mother's breast, will we call her a resource? She's our source, isn't it? She's our source, she's not a resource. You're getting very serious. Why are you so serious out here? Dead serious. See, first one must get serious and then die. This is a wrong thing. First dead and then serious is a wrong way to do life. One reason why the whole humanity has not gotten naturally enlightened, naturally realized, naturally meditative is, they're dead serious. Hello? No! Hello? Dead or serious, what is this? Hey, how many of you understand English language? Others are looking for translation. I think others are waiting for translation. See, the problem with the human life is just this. The problem of human life is not of bondage. The problem of human life is freedom. Problem of human life is like this. See, if you were born as a tiger, hello? Hey, somebody make the roar of a tiger, let me hear it, huh? Like that. So if you were born as a tiger, to be a good tiger, you didn't have to go to a tiger school, you didn't have to go to a tiger university, you didn't have to get a PhD in tigerism, nothing, just eat well, good tiger. Say you're born as a human being, how many things you have to do to be a good human being, huh? Now this is not a problem, because nature has trusted you and given major part of your life into your hands, that is the thing. See, between other creatures and you, I'm just throwing in percentages, these are not exact numbers, but approximately, for most creatures, nature controls 90% of their life, 10% latitude to do their own little style in their life. Only 10%. Take a grasshopper, take a tiger, take a giraffe, take an ant, anything you want. Nature has fixed 90% of their life, only 10% latitude for them to play around. But the problem with the human being is, you have largely come unformed. When I say unformed, only 10% is fixed by nature. Rest is left to you to become whatever you want to become. This is why you are referred to as a human being. We don't call any other creature a being. We don't call a tiger being, an ant being, an elephant being. Only you are a being because you determine how to be. If you determined how to be, would you choose to be blissful or miserable? You must make a choice, I'm going to bless you. Bliss or misery? Sometimes what you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but what you want for yourself is highest level of pleasantness, isn't it? Then why is it not happening all the time? Not that it has not happened at all, otherwise you wouldn't exist. It does happen, but not sustainable, just like every other problem. Not sustainable. Everybody is talking about sustainability, isn't it? Whether it's a business or ecology or environment, anything, sustainability. I'm talking about sustainability of joy. Hello? If you are determining your way of being, definitely joy would be your choice, isn't it? So why is it? Why is it out of your hands? Why is it it's not happening the way it's happening? See, this one doesn't happen your way, that one doesn't happen your way, that one doesn't happen your way. It's all right, but this one must happen my way, isn't it? But right now, the only problem in your life is this one is not happening your way. That one will never happen your way. Nobody, it doesn't matter how close they are to you, your children, oh, they don't happen your way at all. Your spouse, you expect, but it's a disaster. More strongly you expect, more disaster it'll become. They won't happen 100% your way. Nobody really happens 100% your way. If they happen 51% your way, you have the controlling stake. That's what a relationship means. 100% if you expect, they're gone. Yes or no? So that is why these days, people are all shifting their love affair with dogs, because a dog means 12 years guaranteed love affair. But these days, even the dogs, they do their own thing. They don't do just what you want, they do their own thing. So, nobody around you will ever happen 100% your way, that is fine. But this one person must happen your way, isn't it? Only if this one happens your way, this will not be a problem in your life. There are many other problems, there are many other issues in the world. We need to deal with all those things. But if you yourself are a problem, now that is a serious problem. And it's a silly problem, yes or no? Hello? Huh? It's a damn silly problem because you yourself are a problem in your life, what to do? This happens, people come to me and say, Sadhguru, my boss, he's not even human. My mother-in-law, she's the most horrible woman on the planet. My husband, after all her son, my wife, impossible, she's like this. I say, see, do one thing, you come to the yoga center, I'll give you a nice place to stay, good food to eat, nothing to do, just be joyful, that's all. No, I did not complete. And I tell them once in a way, I will make a random check, just in case you're not joyful. I don't believe in feeding misery, so we'll stop feeding you. But if you're joyful, for the rest of your life we'll take care of you. Just stay here. 2 days. No husband, no wife, no mother-in-law, no boss, no neighbor, no trouble. All the troublesome people are gone, only this one person. 2 days later, if I go and see them, they are not in yoga, twisted themselves out in so many ways. See, if you're with somebody and you're miserable, you can say, it's because of this person I'm miserable. If you're alone and miserable, you're obviously in bad company, isn't it? Yes. If you don't fix this company, then wherever you go, trouble, 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 it'll carry with you. Wherever you go, it will continue to… Lot of people have given up about being happy here. They say, only in heaven everybody can be blissful. Oh, if you go there, that is also finished, I think. Because even if you want to go to heaven, at least you must practice here, isn't it? How to be blissful, yes or no? Should you not practice? Now, such a simple thing, something as simple as being peaceful, joyful, why has it become such a big problem? It's become such a big problem that even so-called spiritual leaders are going about saying peace is the ultimate goal of life. I'm asking you, if you want to enjoy your dinner today, even if you're not dripping ecstasy, at least you must be peaceful, isn't it so? If you want to enjoy the company of somebody who's sitting next to you right now, at least you must be peaceful, if not blissful, yes or no? If you want to just enjoy a walk on the street, at least you must be peaceful. So tell me, is peace the ultimate goal of life or the most fundamental requirement in your life? Let me tell you a story. See, when somebody tells a story, because you drive like Indians, you must also listen like Indians, like this. When I say something, once upon a time, okay? Hello? This happened not so long ago. So just a few years ago, I was to speak in Tel Aviv. I flew out of Atlanta and wanting to get to Tel Aviv by mid-morning and to speak at 6:30 in the evening. But due to some delays in the flight schedule, I land there at 6 in the evening, 6:30 is my talk. I have this problem that last 40 years I have not been late to a single event. I was not late here either, just made it in time. So I'm quickly changing my clothes and in the airport and leaving. But I'm famished, really super hungry because, I'm flying an American airline, there's nothing edible on that plane. And then really hungry, more than 20 hours I have not eaten anything, and I quickly change and rush to the venue. To my surprise, it never happens to me. On that day, I was speaking at a very fine restaurant. The talk was in a restaurant. What a place to go when you're that hungry. So I walked in and already people were arriving and they were greeting me, and one person came to me and said, "Shalom." I said, "What does it mean?" He said, "This is the highest way of greeting." I said, "That is your opinion, but what does it mean?" He said, "No, this is really the highest way of greeting." I said, "That's okay, but what does the word mean?" Then he says, "It means peace." Then I say, why would peace be the highest way of greeting unless you're born in Middle East? In South India, somebody comes up to me in the morning and says, "Peace." I will say, "What's wrong with you?" I'm saying, if you deny yourself something for long enough, slowly it rises to heaven. Today, if you say peace, people say divine peace. If you say bliss, people say divine bliss. If you say love, they say God is love. I don't know about all these things, but these are all things human beings are capable of. Don't export it to heaven, hello? We need peacefulness, we need joyfulness, we need loving nature here, hello? But everybody is busy, all the wonderful qualities about the human beings have been exported. Now, if that place is good, it's fine, but right now, it's important that here you experience peace, joy, love, hello? Because here it's needed. Here it's needed, otherwise the kind of people we are, if there is no certain sense of peacefulness, joyfulness and love in our hearts, every transaction will become friction. Yes or no? Yes. Every transaction. Whether individual transactions or societies transacting with each other, nations transacting with each other, everything becomes frictious. When there is no love in your heart, there is no joy in the relationship, hello? Everything. This is badly needed because last 100 years, just see how many wars have we been fighting endlessly. This is not about getting into politics of who did it. As human beings, we've been fighting endless number of wars, isn't it? Yes. You may call them by this nation, that's not the point. But as human beings, we've been a disaster. Constantly taking a vow that we will never again get into another war, and within 2 years again we'll be back in the same place, I don't want that to happen with soil, because if you walk into this disaster, you shall not walk out of this. Today as a generation, we have a great challenge in front of us, at the same time a tremendous privilege that we could be that generation which turned back from the brink of a disaster. We have the privilege because we are in that cusp of time right now. If we act now, we can turn it around in the next 10 to 15 years significantly across the world. It's possible, but the important thing is, it has to be enshrined in the policy of every nation that a minimum of 3 to 6% organic content is there. Right now, there is too much complex variety of talks. It has to be brought down to this fundamental point. The point is just this: there are billions and trillions of organisms in the soil and they need food. The only thing that they can eat is organic content or the organic material. Organic material, what I'm telling you is the simplest of science, but somehow it doesn't seem to get across. Let me tell you this once again. In the first 15 to 18 inches, there are zillions of organisms. These organisms are the basis of your existence here. These organisms are the basis of the quality of atmosphere that you have. These organisms are the basis of the water that you drink and the food that you eat. I'll come to that later, how. But these organisms need food, and food has been taken out. How did this happen? Every farmer 50 to 100 years ago, every farmer knew land needs humus. The very word human comes from the word humus. Humus means organic material from plant life and animal life, it has to go in. But somewhere in the early 20th century, we discovered a magic powder. You know what it is? Nitrogenous fertilizers came. We just put this in the land, suddenly crops just burst out like that, really magically. I must tell you, in India, in many places, the yield of the crops multiplied 3 times over, 300% increase in yield. So naturally, everybody got super attached to this magic powder and they went on doing too much magic. Now they don't know what is the reality. Yes, too much magic we did. What happened was, because the yields increased and things multiplied, economies went on, now we thought not a single tree or plant is needed. Every inch of the land we want to plow and crop it. Then the machines came. Because the machines came, the animals naturally went out. So the problem with the machine is they don't shit. Yes, that's the only problem with them. Yes. Hello? Every other creature on this planet, what they consume, they also put it back in the soil, one way or the other. The machines don't do that because they are not life, all right? So, we brought the machine, so animals went out. Without plant life and animal life, there is no organic content. We have done farming like this across the world, anywhere between 50 to 100 years, and brought this situation upon ourselves that without organic content, 52% of the world's topsoil is degraded, 52%, okay? 52%. of the land is degraded in the world. By 2045, it will rise to 70% plus. In the last 25 years, the increase in the desert lands on the planet is 10%. 10% of the Earth's land has been lost to desertification in just 25 years. Just imagine what it will be in another 50 years. 10% of the desert of land, Earth's land has been lost as desert. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just look at year on year, look at the Google Maps of the planet, you will see from 2003 to now what has happened. It's a disaster. Everywhere sand is spreading. And there are also other kinds of threats, we will not go into all that. I'm not here to throw all these horrible facts, you find out by yourself. There are terrible facts out there, I don't want to put all that. Right now, all I'm concerned about is this, that, see, you are not… looking at you, most of you definitely are not farmers, you are not going to go and fix the land. The important thing is, as citizens of urban societies, you have a voice. You have a voice which is very important in a democratic society, that you have to assure the governments, if they take long-term policy steps, you are with them. Till now, in no nation, anywhere on the planet, not in a single nation has ever 60% of the population has stood up and expressed their concern for the long-term well-being of their nation or the future well-being of their children. They're just asking for tax benefit, they give us some rebate in the gas prices, do this, do that, they've been doing those things. We've been asking for knickknacks, you've been getting those knickknacks. It is time as a generation we stand up and ask, because you must understand, for political leaders and governments, we are giving them a term of 4 to 5 years. What is it in Georgia? 5. It's a 5-year term, all right? 4, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 4-year term. I'm asking you a simple question. If you were the president of this nation and you had only 4 years, and would you take up something which will yield results after 15 years? Be sincere about this. No, you will try to work something that works within 4 years, right? That's all that's happening around the world. That is all that's happening around the world. This is a kind of a catch-22 of democratic ways of doing the world, that we give them only 4 years, so they try to plan and do everything within 4 years because they would like to do things in their term. And another aspect of being a political leadership in the world is, it may not be true in every country, but in most countries it is true. Today you will be right on the top, tomorrow if you lose the election, poof, you're gone, you vanished. So if you had a career like that, what would you do? You would try to do everything in 4 years so that you get another 4 years, isn't it so? So this is all that's happening. So unless the people give an assurance, because till now what I have seen in many Indian states and also in various countries, whenever a leader took long-term steps, he loses the election, for sure. You have to give an assurance, we are here for a long haul, we are concerned about the future of this nation, we are concerned about the future of our children. This is very important, this is very, very important. Today morning I was at Batumi. Just before I left, there was a television interview. I don't know what television is that, Batumi television, something local there. So this young man is asking me, Sadhguru, in Georgia people are concerned about day-to-day problems, they're worried about their jobs, about their earning, about their homes and about their comforts. How can they think long-term? I said, they don't have to. That means none of the Georgian people should have children. If they don't want to think about future, plan about future, you have no right to have children. Hello? It is intrinsic to every human being. This is not a philosophy, this is not an ideology, this is not a moral value, but it is intrinsic to every human being. As a parent, you want your children to live better than you. Hello? That's not taught to you in a moral class. That's the way you feel. Hello? But now if you say, no, I'm concerned about today, I'm not interested in tomorrow, at least don't have children. You have a child and you're not worried about tomorrow, this is irresponsible. So, a time has come where for the first time in the history of the world, we have to be worried about our soil condition. It has happened to many individual societies. The Mayan civilizations went down because of overfarming. Mesopotamian civilization went down because of overfarming. Even the Roman city as a city went down to some extent. The important part was the bread became too expensive because it had to travel a long distance and come. The same thing is happening today, everywhere, but now it's on a global scale. Never before it's been like this. This year, because of the war situation and shortage in food material, this year, at least half a dozen countries are going into severe famine. That's not in Europe, but it's elsewhere, but this is happening because 25% of the world's wheat was coming from these two countries. One is bombed, another is banned. All that's happening is the food is not reaching the people who need it badly. So, famine is something that used to happen very commonly before 1950s and 1940s. It used to happen everywhere. Famine is not a pleasant thing because it's not even like a bomb or a bullet, it doesn't kill you like that. It is a 3 to 4 months of slow fade of life. It is the most painful and horrible way to die. Let us not bring those situations back into the world once again. We have enough technology, we have enough organization, I believe we have enough education and sense. We should not allow this to happen once again to human beings. I want you to know, when famines happen, most terrible things happen. Human beings have eaten each other because of hunger. It has happened in many places in the world. Let us not push humanity once again into that place because clearly we are going there. Less food production and more population means clearly we are heading there. You may think it'll happen to somebody, wherever it happens, our humanity should respond, isn't it? And not respond after the disaster unfolds, because this has been our record. After World War II, everybody said, never again we'll fight another war. Since then, how many? Hello? When the year 2000 came, all these people said, we are millennials, we are information technology, we are technology people, we are not going to fight, we're just going to use thumb war, we'll do. Since 2000, how many wars, how many nations destroyed, how many people dead? Endless number of people, isn't it? It is disgraceful that we count from one place to another and say this place is better than that, because that was in million, this was in hundreds or whatever nonsense. The important thing is, we walk into disasters and then grieve over it. We can be that generation which mitigated a disaster before it arrived. That is a smart generation, that is a sensible generation, that is the generation we want to be. Because you're Tbilisi and you drive like me, no. Drive like Indians. I'll open the questions, whatever kind of questions you want to ask, not necessarily soil, any kind of question. You must raise your hand and make yourself seen, or you must shine. Take the microphone, please. Where's the microphone? Where is the microphone? What? No, not my microphone. There'll be microphones out there. Hello, where are the microphones?
Oh, hello, my name is…
Where are you?
My name is Leila Sisauri. I'm kind of originally from Georgia, but I'm from London. My question to you is that, first of all, thank you so much. You're doing amazing things, uniting people for a cause that really needs to be addressed, really needs to be dealt with. That's amazing, thank you very much.
Question.
The main, the crucial point, today I'm a high school teacher, so I was discussing it with my students. We have such demographics on the planet, and we need the amount of food that we need. I know there is a food waste. I understand there is a lot of our food is wasted. But how do we produce enough food if we abandon industrial farming methods?
Mm-hmm. So
that's my question.
Okay. So this is the important thing. I have not really studied this, but I have glanced through the European Common Agricultural Policy. What I see is it is too complicated ever to be fully implemented. When I say it's too complicated, the soil health and fertilizer usage, in pesticides and insecticides and various other aspects are linked as one policy. Well, academically that looks like the right thing to do, but when it comes to implementation, see, fertilizer factories, fertilizer industries and pesticides did not build up overnight. They've taken decades to build it up to where they are today. You don't expect them to close down tomorrow morning, it's not going to work. And anyway, if you close it down, your food production will come to 25% of what it is right now, and that will be the worst disaster that you will unfold in the world. So do not talk about a particular kind of farming. Let the farmer decide how to farm. We want the soil to be alive for today and for tomorrow. Other things can be addressed. It's like this. Let us say you have a niggling pain in your ankle, so you went to your orthopedic, eye is troubling you, you asked for an appointment with your ophthalmologist, you have a dental issue, so you have a appointment with your dentist, but then you found out you have cancer, you may die in the next 3 days. Tell me, which shall we attend to first? Hello? So right now, this is the situation. There are many issues. There are fossil fuel issues, there are many issues. I'm not saying they're not important, they're all significant problems. But soil health is basic to our life. Without healthy soil, there is no life. Without healthy soil, there is no such thing as human health. And without food production being there will be no peace in the world. Without food production being there will be no sense of civilization. If food shortages come, your civilization will evaporate in 3 days. Even your humanity will evaporate very quickly. Yes. So, we are not talking about reducing anything, nor are we talking about administering or propagating a certain type of farming. Let the farmer do whatever kind of farming he wants. But soil should be alive. For this to be alive, the only policy we are asking for is, right now in Northern Europe, the organic content is 1.48% on an average. In Southern Europe, it's 1.1 to 1.2%, but below 1% in temperate climate is considered desertification. In Africa, across Africa on an average, it's 0.3%. In United States, it's 1.25 to 1.4%. In India, it is 0.68%. These are all on the verge of desertification. It is not just in one country, across the world it's happening. So I'm saying the simplest policy is set up an incentive. If a farmer gets his fields to 3% organic content, he gets a certain incentive. If he gets that incentive, apart from that, when 3% organic content happens, there is a certain amount of carbon sequestering happening, so industry and business can work to bring in the next level of incentive to the farmer, which is carbon market. There is a carbon trading market. This must benefit the farmer. And the next level is, right now you go to the marketplace, you can either buy an apple that's come from 1.48% field or from a field which has 3% organic content. If it has 3% organic content, what are the extra micronutrients present in this apple? There is enough science to tell you that already. And if you eat this much extra micronutrient, what are the health benefits? What are the preventive health benefits? What are the benefits for the economy? What are the benefits for the nation? How many man-days are not lost because people are healthy? And if people are healthy, how many more things they do in their life? How the economy benefits? There is a whole lot of data to this. So, we are asking only for this one thing. Please de-link soil health from other issues. There are many issues, yes, we agree they are major issues, but de-link the soil health from other issues, because otherwise we will have only conferences, we will not have a solution. Conferences have been going on for last 25 years endlessly. I must tell you, at one time I attended a lot of world peace conferences, they're always happening. I really believed these people are going to bring peace, and I started going. About 3.5 to 4 years, I went to many top-level conferences in the world. One particular conference I went to, which was the last one I went, 43 Nobel laureates were there, a few former heads of states were there. And I thought, really, they're going to do something about world peace. Then my talk was on day 3 to the 4-day conference. I went in on day 2. And day 3, post-lunch session, somebody else, a Nobel laureate, is speaking. After that, I am supposed to speak. And this Nobel laureate came, and there was a podium not like this, a big wooden podium like that. He went behind that and put up his file there and opened it, and he put his head down and never looked up again. He read 42 pages. I was counting the pages, listening to every word, thinking world peace is going to fall out of his mouth. And then I look around, the hall is really peaceful. Just everybody uniformly had fallen asleep, except the fool that I am sitting in the front seat listening to every stupid word that he is reading, not speaking. Except the security and the hotel staff, everybody had fallen asleep. Then when my turn came, I went up and I chanted with my foghorn voice. They all woke up. Then I asked them, the simple thing is, see, all of us are here to achieve world peace. How many of you can genuinely put your hand on your heart and say, my mind is peaceful? If you do not know, they were sincere enough like you, they said, no, our mind is not peaceful. I said, if you cannot make this mind peaceful, how the hell do you imagine you'll make the world peaceful? From where? If you do not know how to bring to peace to your own mind, how to do it with the world, and above all, there is no peace in the world. If there is no peace in the world, it is only and only because of what's happening in the human mind, isn't it? If human minds were peaceful, or if human beings did not exist, world would be peaceful. And then I asked, what is the secret of everybody uniformly falling asleep? They said, no, Sadhguru, yesterday there was a Bacardi festival in the evening. Oh, I said, okay, peace. Peace can be achieved in many ways. You can be drunk and be peaceful, you can be drugged out and be peaceful, you can be dead and be peaceful. But that's not what we want. We want to be alive and be peaceful. We want to be exuberant and be peaceful. Hello? We want to be dynamically active and still be peaceful. Huh? So, this is not about talking about taking away industrial farming, do this, do that, no. There is a way to farm. Last 27 years, we have converted hundreds and thousands of farmers in southern India. Looking at the success of that, today, Government of India has invested $2.3 billion in the direction. Now, after we started the movement, Germany has announced $4.5 billion for soil ecology, and United States and UK have announced subsidies for cover crops, which we've been pushing for a long time. Nearly 72 to 73 countries have given declarations or signed MOUs saying that they will implement the policy. So we are on the way. And in the month of May, we are addressing COP15 in Ivory Coast, where 197 nations or their representatives are coming. So we are addressing this group, and the main theme in this convention is soil. And before that, we want you to move 3 to 4 billion people, because in a democracy, the only currency that works is numbers. This many of you, if you use that… what phone do you have? Smartphone or dumb phone? What do you have? You have a smartphone. See, when you have such a smart companion with you, you must do something really smart. You can send a few silly messages, it's okay with me, but you must do something, because what you have in your hand is a powerhouse. This is the first time, this is the very first time in the history of humanity, you can sit there and talk to the whole world. Hello? When was this ever possible? Many great beings have come. If they spoke, hardly 10 people could hear. Huh? This is the first time you can sit in your home and talk to the whole world. So do something. Somebody just jing 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 and gets a billion people moving. Hello? Do something, jing jing, tuk tuk, tuk tuk, whatever, or TikTok. Do something smart, make a fool out of yourself like me, do whatever the hell. But as a generation, we need to make this happen. This is a generational responsibility. So let us not talk about organic farming, this kind of farming, that kind of farming. Let the farmer decide what kind of farming he wishes to do, but as the organic content increases, the fertilizer usage will naturally drop. It will inevitably happen. We don't have to curtail it. If you curtail it, food production will drop and then everybody will go back to severe usage of chemicals once again. Do not talk about cutting down chemical usage. Increase the organic content, chemical usage will naturally come down. And stop labeling food as organic. What is the other food? Inorganic, is it? Hello? If this apple is organic, this one is inorganic, is it? There is no such thing, these are just marketing terms. This is why we want it to be labeled according to the organic content in the field, because you cannot test an apple and find out how much fertilizer or how much chemical it has in it. It is a whole laboratory process, it never happens. But the organic content in the soil can be checked on the farm. Within 10 minutes, you can find out how much organic content a given soil has. Because it's practical, this is why we're pushing it. If we want this to be implemented, soil policy or soil health policy must be delinked from other aspects that we've been talking about for a long time. Please, anybody. Take the microphone, please, whoever. The questions need not be only soil. Oh, that guy with the light, he's shining. Okay, give it to…
Hello. I'm Kate.
Where are you?
There.
There means there what? Okay, please.
I'm from Georgia. Sadhguru, I've been following your journey on Instagram, and I see in every country where you go, children meeting you with love, with happy faces. They are very joyful with you. So, what is your power in making them happy?
What's your name?
Kate.
Huh?
Keta. Kate.
Kate?
Yes.
Kate.
Yes, Kate.
Kate, this is… I'm telling only you, okay? Don't tell anybody. Because, Kate, this is only for you. I never grew up, I just stayed the way I was born.
Thank you.
Hey, that's a secret only for you, don't tell anybody. Please, that dancing girl at the back with the light, please give it to her. Oh, it's a boy.
Sadhguru, thanks for being here.
Where are you? Where are you?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay.
Thanks for being here and give us the possibility to have a discussion with you. So I will ask a question of a guy sitting next to me. So if we will consider world as a five-edged star, the soil is just five-edged star. The soil is just the basic and the first, let's say, aspect of it. What is the role of other elements in your teaching, like the fire, the air? Yeah, thanks.
So, did you get the question, everybody? Okay. No? Okay, this happened. Asking questions is a serious issue for Indian people. Questions and questions and questions like nobody else. Even when so-called divine entities appeared in front of them, they asked only questions, nobody could give them a commandment. Endless questions. So when Adi Yogi came, questions and questions, his wife asking thousands of questions, his disciples asking questions. Then one day he was just bored with all of them, asking same questions in 1,000 different ways. Then they asked all these multifarious manifestations in this cosmos, in this universe, so much. How is all this happening? Where is it coming from? He was just bored, so he said like that. Just five things. The entire mischief is rooted in just five things. So, in the nature of creation, it's first Akash, then Agni or fire. This is… Akash means empty space? No. Akash means Akash, there is no appropriate word in English language for that. Beyond that, there is something called a Shunya or Shiva, which means that which is not, that is different. Akash is a certain space which is alive. So from Akash came Agni, that means all the stars are burning, this is fire. From this came air. So from air came water and then came earth. Earth is the last thing, but in our experience, earth is the first thing. First thing, we have a place to stand, all right? We can't stand on the sky. And our existence is only because of the earth. All the other things are there, but they came together in a certain way to make life happen here, which is very complex. Now that we are here for Save Soil, I must tell you this. See, approximately 1 billion years ago, one very smart fungi or algae came up with this idea of cooking their food using the perpetual energy of the sun. Today we call that phenomena as photosynthesis. Before photosynthesis started, the average oxygen level in the atmosphere was just over a shade over 1%. Today it is 21%. That is why you can breathe, that is why even with a mask on you can still breathe, because there's 21% oxygen, because of photosynthesis. From photosynthesis, various complex organisms came, life happened in many different ways. Right now we are all here because of that. But in the last 1,000 years, photosynthesis has gone down by 85%. 85% less photosynthesis happening on the planet in 1,000 years. Because 70% of the land is plowed, 4.2% of the land is paved as urban lands. So nearly 76% no photosynthesis, plus other clearings have happened. Totally 85% less photosynthesis than what was happening 1,000 years ago. But we are too concerned about carbon dioxide these days because it's fashionable to talk about carbon, not knowing that we ourselves are carbon. Carbon is not poison, we are all carbon life, we are a part of the carbon cycle. And the most important part of this carbon cycle or this chain of carbon activity in which we are also a link is the soil. Now that link has become very weak, that's why we are talking about that. It is not that other things are not important. Without all of it functioning together, there is no such thing as life. Without all of them coming together in your experience, there is no such thing as growth in your life. Without all of them, in some way you are acquiring some mastery over them, there is no such thing as you being sure-footed in your life. You will always be anxious if you don't have a certain amount of mastery over the five elements. You may have it naturally sometimes, or you can work at it. If you work at it scientifically, properly, the yogic system entirely comes from the fundamental process called as Bhuta Shuddhi, which is about mastering the five elements. One who has mastery over the five elements has complete mastery over one's own life. Your physiology, your chemistry, your energy, your psychological process, all of it. So, in this process, earth is very important, though it is only 12% of your body. 72% of your body is water. But water is of a certain kind, it can be easily taken into control, and because earth is so dense, you need to work at it in a certain way. Air is just 6%, but there is a lot of simple processes with which you can control the air aspect of your making. Fire, you have 4%, you're married, you need some fire, either for passion or to burn somebody a little bit, both ways. Hello? So, Akash is rest, that is not in percentages, you can't count that in percentages, but your ability to perceive life, how much you know of this life, how much you know about the nature of creation, depends on how much mastery you have over Akash, because it's the Akash which enhances your perception. Otherwise, you can read the libraries of the world. You will have information, you will have no knowing. If you have to know, you must have a certain amount of control or a certain amount of mastery, or I would not use such big words, let me say a certain amount of access to Akash. And it is both within and without. If you have some access to it, your perception will be greatly enhanced. And it's important that in this life we do that, because how pleasant and how profound we are right now as we sit here is the most important aspect of your life. Thank you very much. I think… I don't want to sing a lullaby, you're all getting there. Hello? Just one more question, let's stop with one question.
Yes?
Whoever, please take the microphone.
I'm here.
Where are you?
Hello, I'm here, in the middle. There's my hand.
Okay.
Okay, so can I speak?
Yeah, you made such a big…
I see myself, okay. Thank you that you came to us. I'm really grateful. This is the first thing. My name is Rami. I'm a human of the earth.
Oh, really?
And my question is one. How can people, with this chaos that's going on in the world, can be happy?
Oh.
That's it.
People. The world can never be happy. Because happiness happens within you, you can be happy. But if you've chosen not to be, that's very unfortunate. Now this happened. Can I tell you a story? If I say once upon a time, lot of people think it's bedtime, that's the only problem. Once upon a time, there was a man in Constantinople, your neighbor, all right? And because being there in that place, the Silk Route, lot of stories coming from India of, golden mangoes growing on the trees and golden deer romping in the forest, gold nuggets being sold in the vegetable market, and of course of mysticism, of wealth and mysticism, enormous stories floating across the Bosphorus. So always he wanted to go to India. Now he was well over 60 years of age, he got an opportunity and he went there. He found a guide, he wanted to meet a mystic, he wants to meet a yogi. Long time ago, not me. So, he went there and he went to southern India and they told him, you go up this mountain, all these landmarks, they told him, if you go there, there is a yogi who's living in a small cave, he's the man for you. So, he went there and there was a yogi sitting there like this, blissed out totally. You understand what that is? No. You think even happiness is not possible. So he was sitting blissed out. And our man went and the people had told him, if you see a yogi, you must prostrate. And he went down and scraping his knees and all the commotion, the yogi opened his eyes and smiled. The first thing the man from Constantinople said is, "Can I ask you a question?" The yogi laughed and said, "Yes, by all means, question, no problem. Ask a question." Because you know, a question can never be wrong, only an answer can be wrong. This is the safety of a question. You can ask any kind of question. So, he said, ask the question. The man who's… Hey, let me finish the answer. Hello, let me finish the answer. Hello. Now, he said, he's over 60 years of age and he asked, what is life? See, this question you should have asked when you were 8. What is life? Well, you got lost in the play around you. At least when you're 16, you should have asked, what is life, isn't it? Well over 60, now you're asking, what is life? We can only talk to you in past tense. What was life? Not me, not me. So, the yogi, when he asked what is life, the yogi went into raptures. Life, life is like the fragrance of jasmine upon the gentle spring breeze. The man from Constantinople, what? Fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze? That is life? Our teacher told us, it is like a thorn. Once it gets into you, if you stand it hurts, if you lie down it hurts, if you sit it hurts, if you do something it hurts, if you don't do nothing it hurts. And you are saying it is like the fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze. How do you say this? The yogi laughed and said, well, that's his life. So, this is your choice. This is your choice right now. This is very important. This is very important. If you want to turn the soil around, we must see this not as a war. People are saying, war against climate change. I'm telling them, see, if you get so angry, global warming will happen. Hello? Have you noticed? When you get very angry, everything gets hot in your home? So, anger is not the way. This is a love affair. This is an expression of our love and responsibility for our own life and every other life, and above all, the future life that has to be here beyond us. Hello? Life has to be here beyond us. And the life that comes after us, whether it's your own children or whose ever children, the life that comes after us must live better than us. Hello? Always, they must live better than us. So if this has to happen, it's very important, you know what is good life. You do not know what is good life by driving a shiny car or building a huge home or putting on expensive clothes. You know what is good life only when your heart is full of joy and love. Only then you know what is good life. So without knowing what is good life, how can you care for life that is yet to be? Without even you experiencing what is good life, how will you care for life that is yet to be? So this is the whole problem. This is the same problem as people talking about world peace when they do not even know how to keep their minds peaceful. So, this, what you carry as a body here, this is a piece of this planet. Hello? Now, keeping this rich and well, keeping this rich does not mean rich. Rich means it's bursting with joy because the purpose of the body is to be a platform that doesn't hinder with who you want to be. Hello? This is what a body is for. That if you create a body which is always a big bother, then how can you be who you want to be? Only if you create a body which is not in the way, never in your way. This is the only way you can be the being that you wish to be and do what you need to do in the world. Otherwise, you yourself will be an impediment. First understand, this is a piece of the soil. Keep this well and keep the soil well. For this, we need you to raise your voice.